Detroit ain't no joke, okay? Detroit ain't no joke, and we still ain't no joke.
A Detroiter is someone head up, shoulders back, working hard, determined, focused. The work ethic of this town is serious.
A Detroiter personifies the existence of a city that was one of the most creative entities in the world. That is the essence of Detroit. It is a place of connectivity.
We were born moving. We were 1 in 5 million, migrating toward the north to find work for opportunity. Fathers, grandmothers, 140 trains arriving daily, a place known as an underground railroad stop.
In the mid-century period, blacks began to rush into the city. They were coming at the behest of Henry Ford, who put out a call. I will pay $5 a day for anyone who wants to come here and work.
We're at the Highland Park Ford Model T plant. African Americans are working in these factories, and they're now finally able to rent space, but in some cases buy homes. However, even though he's paying African Americans the same wages as the white workers, they're not doing the same work as white workers.
The most dirty, the hardest, the most life-threatening jobs. Black people also were severely limited as far as being compressed into limited neighborhoods, and one of those neighborhoods being Black Bottom.
The capital of Black Bottom and the main street was called Hastings. Hastings was the street where all the black businesses was. And what happened is the establishment eventually took a bulldozer, and when they put in I-75, they took the bulldozer straight down the black economic system, right down Hastings. Can you imagine what those businesses would be worth today? I mean, in the billions.
Ford Motor Company, Chrysler, Sears, Kresge's, Highland Appliance, all of those things were here operating at their peak from the 1920s to the 1950s in Highland Park. Highland Park's population has gone down significantly, and many of those businesses, they're no longer in the city of Highland Park. We see a lot of things in the new Detroit. There's new shops, new restaurants, new stores, particularly in downtown and midtown. But of course, what's also happening is the removal of people and the removal of history.
We are in Highland Park, specifically in the Avalon Village. The Avalon Village is basically a living space, a community that was built out of blighted and abandoned houses. The Homework House is the first entity that was built out of a house that was on a demolition list. It's a space where children can actually feel like they're home and have a peaceful space to just live, learn, and play. This land was totally dead. It needed a healing. Even though it was in its fall, it was still worth something, it was still beautiful, and it could be a phoenix rising.
I set a goal about 10 years ago. By the age of 55, I want to be able to gainfully employ 50 to 100 people and multiply that every 5 years from there. Once money becomes reciprocal in the community, it no longer feels like money. It feels like a bloodline, and it feels like something that we can build off of.
Money is a real big factor in younger people's lives nowadays because we're in a transition stage. We're learning how to live on our own and how to create opportunities with our own money. When you sit and actually focus on a task, there's a lot of things that you can accomplish when you choose and decide that that's what you want to do. But you have to be committed, and you have to be driven. And you have to understand it's going to take a lot of sacrifices.
Jonah, go tell Braylon to come here. Thank you. Say good morning, please. Raising children, making sure they eat every day. You ready to go to school? No, I'm actually right here up the street. Making sure that everything's done, homework's done. All right, see you later. And half the time, let's say I may get 4 hours of sleep. I tell my kids that education is very important. I have to be honest with them. I didn't go to college right after high school. I went to cosmetology school, but I was so caught up in doing other things in life that I didn't finish cosmetology school. I always tell them now, because I learned the hard way, finish what you start. That's my main rule to them, because after so many years and then getting of age, things get harder. But I'm great at doing hair. That's what I do. So I'm going back to cosmetology school to finish. I have a lot of side hustles. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are Decorating,
you?
making clothes, doing hair.
Yeah, whenever you are.
When I turned 10, I started pressing my own hair. I taught myself how to cut my own hair, braid my own hair, and then after that, it just took off. If someone calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning and they say, I need my hair done, I'm up, let's get it. That's money in my pocket. Whatever I can get my hands on, I'm gonna hustle to make the money to feed my family. I have a cycle every month of car note getting paid. I set aside food money. Recently, I just paid most of my credit card bills off, but I have student loans, about $25,000 in student loans. It's a lot of stuff that gets thrown back on the back burner because I just don't have it, or my husband just doesn't have it. Me and the kids don't even have insurance at this moment because I'm on a leave of absence. 2007, I was in a motorcycle accident. My femur was broken in two, my ankle was shattered, and I have at least $90,000 in medical bills. Those payment arrangements that I can stick to, I do. If I know I don't have it, I just don't even try to make it because I can't. I know, and it's sad to say, after years, some of the medical bills will fall off, but I'm still dealing with my student loans. And I'm completely in debt to the point where I can't even breathe.
Money makes me feel. Let me think about that. Money.
Money.
Money just makes me feel, Never thought about that question.
Money.
Money is complicated.
Money makes me feel uncertain.
Money.
It doesn't make me feel. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't.
Money is a tool. It's not the money itself. It's what the money allows you to do. But true wealth and true money is really your mind.
Money.
Money is something that everyone needs to survive.
Money makes me feel free.
In my mother's passing, she left the house to all 3 of her daughters.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't want to sell the house.
I know, but her wishes were that the house was sold because everybody got their space, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
That's what she has to do.
The day she passed, I went upstairs and I stayed in her bed after everybody left. It's hard being there without her. I miss her. This is a beautiful house. I would love to be able to rent it out to someone. That house means the world to me.
Hello. Oh, that made you laugh, didn't it? That made you laugh, didn't it?
You know, Mama hated pictures.
She would take them, but she wouldn't want you to take hers.
Oh, this was Terry and Crystal's wedding.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So many memories.
So it's these, the hats I got in the dining room. Wanted you to kind of go through them with me to see what I should do with them.
Oh, okay.
It's the First Lady hat. This is the one I like. The First Lady hat.
All right, all right.
Okay, like my hat.
Had you thought about, like when you sell the house and you get your portion, had you thought about what you were going to do with your portion of the money?
I need to put some money up for my children.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Very good idea.
That's my #1 goal. That's my first start.
Right.
I don't want them to struggle
financially if they don't have to.
If you could talk with someone that could give you some direction and a little education on how to make that money last
Right.
and make it grow, then I'm thinking that you'd be better off in the long run. And you'd have something for your kids. And if you need anything, I'm right here, always.
Always. Say always. Oh, you know what I was...
She's a sweet child. She's a good mom. She is handling it okay on the surface, but there's a sadness there.
I've had a time where I had so much debt that I couldn't sleep. And unlike other periods in my life where I was able to out-hustle and work my way out of debt, in this particular situation, I couldn't. It taught me a lot about patience, and that's probably one of my most tested moments. Whenever I felt like giving up, when I'd ask for a sign, the sign would always say, stay, keep pushing. It wasn't $1 million check. It wasn't a $1,000 check, but it was just enough to keep me going. So I was like, all right, stick it out a little longer.
Everyone is struggling with something. You cannot find a solution when you're still hiding behind that wall of shame.
The moment I turned things around and got a new mindset, it wasn't an aha moment that was, you know, the ceiling opened up and angels sang, oh, and everything was great. It wasn't that. It was $11.42. I ran out of Pampers and I went to the ATM to get $20 out and it said I had $11.42, insufficient funds. And I had to wrap my son in a towel. I was repeating what I had learned from my mom, which was spend it fast. In that moment, I said, I don't know how to make or keep or grow money.
But we are getting to the point of ingredients now that are making it able for us to get on that pathway to financial wellness.
People think, oh, you have to be rich to see a financial professional. It's not true. You can pay a flat fee and go see someone annually for a checkup to help you create a plan and stay on course.
The first step of becoming financially successful is to get started. We're in the process of trying to help our people all across the country get from where we are financially to where we believe we have the potential to be. My mother's religion is shopping, right? So, like most families, we didn't really talk about money a lot.
D-Free is a transformational lifestyle movement that uses faith-based principles and practical approaches to financial management to help people become financially free.
35% of African Americans have a negative net worth. We don't own anything. Our debt exceeds our assets. All of those problems that have economic implications motivated me to create D-Free, to partner with other people who are very serious about our people rising out of this economic cesspool and really experiencing financial wellness. When my grandmother died, she had raised 6 children and she was a seamstress. She sold other people's clothes for a living. When she died at 80 years old, she left 3 houses paid for. Wow. I stood at her grave and I said to myself, I am embarrassed now and I gotta change. And if I died right now, all I'd have to leave anybody is credit card bills. There's an emotion that's building in Black America towards self-sufficiency, economic empowerment. I think the atmosphere is being infected by possibilities. What we bring to that atmosphere is strategy, because a dream without a strategy is just an illusion.
Hi. I'm glad that I'm getting to talk with you because my mom left us some money and we're getting ready to sell the house.
Talk to a professional.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
About a 529 plan for your kids.
Okay.
That grows tax-free.
Okay. There's certain responsibilities that we all have, but there's a different kind of freedom that you can have when you know you have a plan on the other side of it. That concept of freedom and just liberation and being able to breathe and really live and exist and move in the world from a position of power because you now feel in control of your circumstances and in control of your situations.
Anytime you hit me, I'll come right back.
I appreciate it greatly. I really love it. I love
I've heard so many great things about you.
Thank you.
I'm just so impressed, and I can't wait to see where you're headed.
I love Detroit. I love my city. I have a group of friends. One is starting a makeup company. She quit her job and she just went straight for it, like, I'm just gonna do it. It was kind of a group of us that got together. We're just talking, like, what can we do to inspire people to do the things that they want to do? For a long time, I was scared to step out. I was scared to say, let's start a business, because I'm scared of failing. But you have to fail to get somewhere.
Across the water from another country, our birth, a starting line, our journey constantly evolving. We were born moving, a metropolis of ideas, our minds the workstations of the future. We are the inherited legacy, Black Wall Street to Black Bottom. Detroit is still on the front line of the world's imagination. How we finish defines our legacy. We were born moving.
Strong Black woman living in America?
If you would have asked me what strong Black woman means to me 5 years ago, I would have given you flexing and stoic.
I feel a sense of obligation.
Holding the world. And
I mean, you get up and you do what you need to do to accomplish what it is that needs to be accomplished.
People call me a strong Black woman all the time. I feel like the cape became my noose.
The super sister soldier, I've got it. I don't need help. I'm not a burden on anyone. We put it on every morning. We wash it off every night.
But what happens is, if no one sees you crumble, they don't believe that you do.